This is a Bluetooth speaker. It effectively has one job, which is to take a digital signal from your smartphone or your laptop, convert it into an audible or analog signal, and play it back to you. In terms of how it sounds, I would describe the sound as sufficient, it's decent, and if you've got a good one, maybe even entertaining. But there are a couple of key drawbacks to this kind of speaker design. The first is the size, it's pretty small. But the second one, and this is the important one, is that it can only play music through a single channel. The sound lacks depth, it lacks width, and it's not particularly immersive. It doesn't convey much emotion. Now, if you've been using one of these to listen to music and you feel like you're missing out on something, or maybe there's something more to the music, then we reckon it might be time to invest in some upgrades. So this is the Starter Turntable System from Instant Classic. Starting with the Project Primary E, belt drive turntable, hand-built in Europe and made from a quality of materials that is scarcely seen at this price point. The Rotel A10 integrated amplifier, this is the system's powerhouse, takes the signal from the Primary E, gives it a little bit of a boost, and then beams it to these guys, the Monitor Audio Monitor 50s. Let's take a closer look at each component. All right, so now that I've had a haircut and freshened up a bit, let's take a closer look at some of the components from the system. So starting with the Rotel A10 integrated amplifier, I think the key difference between this and the amplifier that's housed inside the Bluetooth speaker that we were looking at before is that this produces a much more natural sound. So it's got fully analog circuitry, a nice hand-wound oversized toroidal transformer. These are quality components that add up to an amplifier that is going to give you a sound that is much closer to the original recording and the way that the music's supposed to hear, compared to that Bluetooth speaker, which can sound superficially engaging, I suppose. You can crank it up in a park and people are going to be able to hear it. It's got big bass, accentuated treble, but at the end of the day, if you're sitting in your living room and you want your music to sound your best, this is the way to go. And of course, if you don't want to make any adjustments to the sound, there are tone controls on the front here, so you can adjust the bass and treble to get it to sound the way you want. But we think flicking off the tone control and just letting it do its thing, it sounds pretty terrific. All right, so next taking a look at the Monitor Audio Monitor 50s. The biggest difference between these and the Bluetooth speaker we've been talking about, there's two of these. And that makes all the difference in the world. So we'd suggest getting these set up at home, try and get about 1.5 meters to 2 meters between the two speakers, because if you can get a bit of distance, the difference is night and day. The sound, instead of seeming like it's coming from a single point within the room, is spacious, it has width, and it washes over you. And a system comprised of a couple of speakers of this quality with a nice turntable and an amplifier, it'll leave any mono or Bluetooth speaker in the dust. So finally, the Project Primary E belt drive turntable. So I would suspect that one of the key reasons you're shopping with us here at Instant Classic is turntables. And this is the one that we hang our hat on. It is a turntable that's engineered with one thing in mind, and that is great sound. So other turntables at the price point might sacrifice quality of materials in favor of features that you might not use. In this case, it is all geared towards sounding as good as it possibly can. So a wooden plinth, a wooden platter, aluminium tone arm, they're all low resonance materials. And what this adds up to, and again, combining it back with those Monitor Audio speakers and the Rotel amplifier, is a really beautiful natural analog sound. Right, so if you've been considering getting into vinyl, you haven't quite been sure, you haven't found the right place to buy from, we reckon you should give the Starter Turntable System a crack. High quality components, a price that's pretty difficult to beat, and whilst you are spending a bit more than, say, an all-in-one package that you can pick up at some retailers, the difference in sound quality is going to be enormously noticeable, and these are the kind of products that you can gradually upgrade. It might be a hobby for 5 years, 10 years, or a lifetime. Cheers. And don't forget, we've got a 50-day returns policy as well. So if you're not quite satisfied with it, then you do have the option to return it within 50 days as long as you keep it in good nick. If you need more advice, you can find us on live chat at instantclassic.com.au. You can hit us up via email at support@instantclassic.com.au. You can send us a message on WhatsApp or give us a call on 03 9426 3651, and you can follow us on social media.